Hi, I'm Gary Engler, your socialist grandfather. In the last episode of Economic Democracy or No Democracy, an anti oligarchy manifesto, I introduced the topic of feminism and its importance in ending minority rule. Today, the likelihood of women being leaders in the movement. Where to begin? How about with individualism? Pernicious ideology pushed by Ayn Randian billionaires and their sycophants that is especially harmful to women. While all humans are social creatures, giving birth and raising babies makes women especially so. The fragmentation of extended families, rampant consumerism, the remnants of patriarchy that demand women do more than their fair share of housework, and the pushing of a never ending accumulation of experiences as a means to personal fulfillment has produced an epidemic of depression, substance abuse, and alienation that especially affects the fairer sex. And most women really are fairer, more cooperative. Again, this is due to the thousands of generations of birthing and raising children. Cooperation, sociability, and treating others fairly are the most successful strategies for ensuring success at both. Consider this thought experiment. Six mothers are sitting in a park watching their toddlers play with shovels, buckets, and other toys in a sandbox. One of the mothers says to her child, Adam, take all the toys you want. Don't share. The goal of life is to collect the most stuff. Imagine the shock and surprise. How do you think the other mothers would react? In fact, the notion of something so antisocial as this happening seems completely far fetched, almost impossible to imagine. Sharing, fairness, equality, caring for everybody, helping those who need help. Greed is bad. These are the values that most everybody are taught by their parents, especially mothers. These are the values of a loving family. These are not capitalist values. These are not the values of individualism. This is indirectly acknowledged when authoritarian slash fascist political parties around the world use misogyny and appeals to male supremacy as a way to organize. It's interesting to note social scientists discovered over the years that answering some simple questions about parenting can determine if a person has authoritarian tendencies. For example, they can ask if it is more important to have a child who is respectful or independent, obedient or self reliant, well behaved or considerate, and well mannered or curious. Respondents who pick the first option in each of these questions turn out to be strongly authoritarian. Unsurprisingly, pollsters have determined people with such opinions are much more likely to be supporters of Donald Trump and other authoritarian right wing leaders. The argument here is that economic democracy should be especially attractive to women. It fits with the fundamental ideas that most women have been brought up on. Not only that, but women should also be leaders in promoting economic democracy. They have the self interest, a special motivation, and the most recent experience in challenging deeply held prejudice underlying minority rule. While economic democracy would be a revolutionary change in the way our economic and political system operates, in some ways, it is less so than the ongoing battle against sexism. As outlined above, Misogyny likely predates all forms of minority rule and exploitation. It is certainly older than slavery, feudalism, and capitalism. The bottom line is that women have been living with and fighting against sexism for generations, which makes them natural supporters of economic democracy.